Hello and welcome to a game of Dota 2. We've got ourselves a best of 3 in our hands for the semi-finals of the EIZO Cup. It is the 7th edition of the EIZO Cup and we have terrible damage. The team that we saw yesterday winning up against the Frenchies Baguette. Up against Life, the team that we actually did not see at all yesterday. But Life managed to 2-0 their opponents and now they're here. It's actually like, I've seen some of the bets for the games. Most people are in favor of terrible damage, but I think Life, I mean, you should not underestimate them. Of course, you know that yesterday Mini was co-casting with me, and according to him, they will be making it to the finals. He wasn't sure that they would win the finals, but he said, yeah, they're probably gonna make it to the finals. So let's see if he's right or not. Unfortunately for me and for you as well, no co-caster for me at the moment, so we're gonna have to do it with just me, but that's okay. It gives me time or a chance to work on the more maybe technical things of my cast. Easier that way, perhaps. Or at least for me, maybe not for you. Oh well, I am rambling. I know that. It's okay. So we've got ourselves some bans. No surprise that we see IO and Batrider banned out. Terrible damage. Removing the standard heroes from the pool. Life already countering Jackal's Weaver by banning him out. And also Tamar Wild's Dragon Knight removed from the pool. Terrible damage, managed to pick themselves up. Visage and a Nature's Prophet though. Two very strong heroes. Mags, Nature's Prophet, no joke, and definitely something that Life has to worry about, because already having a Visage there as well, it is a start of potentially having an aggressive tri lane. And then if a Nature's Prophet is there as well, that can just TP in whenever he wants to. It's scary. And yes, I know that's not really normal to have a Nature's Prophet and an aggressive tri lane, but we have seen it actually done before. We yesterday even saw a couple of Nature's Prophet running in the solo mid lane and then just being everywhere on the map. It wasn't terrible damage that actually did that though, and I will try to call them TTD because I know that terrible damage is like, it doesn't really roll off the tongue. We've got a Naga Siren and a Life Stealer for Life, so Naga Siren, I'm expecting her to be a support in this game. But nothing is certain with her, so we don't know that for sure just yet. Life Stealer, of course, strong carry, and these teams, they are really speeding through this draft. Look at that, no bonus time used for both teams. Well, Life used 3 seconds, but can't even remember when that was. We've got ourselves a Chen and an OD ban, so that's a jungle hero removed and a strong solo mid. Still have a Templar Assassin in the pool if Life wants to use that up against the puck. Depending on what they want to throw down the mid lane up against that puck. That got picked up together with a Bane by TTD. On the side of Life, they pick up a Leshrac and a Lich, so that is, in theory, their support combination, but we have seen Lich as a solo lane, we've seen Leshrac as a solo lane, we've seen Naga Siren as a solo lane, and I love this draft because you just don't know what they're gonna do. You just don't know. They have so many options here. This could be an aggressive tri lane even. I have to say I love the Leshrac Naga Siren combination purely because of the ensnare followed up with the Split Earth, and personally I think we don't see enough of Leshracs. We have a Razor band out as well as a Shadow Demon. I like the Razor band because, I mean, up against a Life Stealer, it's just very annoying to have one of your main damage dealers being sucked or damage sucked away. Of course you still have the Bane with the Enfeeble, but granted, at least that is a little bit less annoying than the static link. And finally I get a moment to breathe, because we have got ourselves bonus time use. TTD looking to ban out their last hero. Now, like I said, we don't know really what Life is gonna do and where they're gonna lane things, and they have so many options that TTD is gonna use this time to decide, like, how are they gonna lane it. Is that Lich gonna be a solo off lane? We've seen it done before. Is Naga Siren gonna be solo mid? Is Leshrac gonna be solo mid? It's all been done before, and I'm gonna assume that TTD, I mean, yeah, they probably would have looked over the draft of Life of yesterday, but it's not a very known team at the moment, and the metagame is changing all the time, so also something that is, you can't really count on anything specific. But we did see the Templar Assassin being banned out by TTD. As I said earlier, it's a great hero up against the puck, or I hinted on it earlier. But they weren't planning on doing that. They pick up the Mirana, so I love the lineups. Jackal's Luna has picked up as the last pickup, and really, it was so fast I couldn't even see the last ban. For Life, that is. But we have got ourselves, this is probably one of the fastest draft I've had. Like, in a while. Really. It's good that there's no co-caster for this draft because, I mean, there's no time for people to talk. Well, apart from me, I guess. Oh yeah, before we jump ourselves like into the game, because we're waiting for people to pick up their heroes. Of course, I said already this is a semi-finals. There's 2 semi-finals going on at the same time. So Empire versus KP is being played at the moment as well, casted by Toby. So you can watch that on JD Red. The grand finals are played after this, so it will be the winner of this best of 3 up against the winner of Empire versus KP. And the grand finals are also casted by Toby, so I won't be casting those. And then... oh yeah, and because I'm a solo cast, I would love to have some feedback, so you can send that to shivergaming@gmail.com. Awesome. So, let's see who is playing what for this game, as we indeed have got ourselves a game, even though it's paused. Get some more breathing space. Between Terrible Damage, TTD, I'm gonna try to pronounce him as TTD, it's really a tongue breaker, but a tongue twister rather. I'm gonna try anyway. Up against Life. So, Zik will be playing the Visage. We have Jackal, carry player, playing the Luna for this game. Always Wanna Fly, he plays the Bane. Mag, like I said, is Nature's Prophet. Scary one. And Tamar Wild, one of his signature heroes, will play his Puck. Of course, as you see, if you saw EIZO Cup before the International, you saw Resolution as one of their mid players. Resolution, one of the more celebrated upcoming players. Like he was one of the younger players in the scene, like 16 or something. Unfortunately, not here. But Tamar Wild, of course, Virtus Pro Tamar Wild, has been playing with TTD since or for this entire tournament, of course. So he'll be playing his Puck. On the side of the Radiant, we've got Noya playing the Lifestealer. It will be Hesse Joe Rutten who will be taking on the Naga Siren, and I did say during the draft, keep an eye out for Hesse Joe Rutten. I don't know if I said it during the draft or if I said it before then. I think it was even before then. But he is gonna play a solo mid Naga Siren. So that's gonna be one to watch out for. We have Crit playing the Leshrac, going for support Leshrac. Fist Invasion, or well, Eaten Fish, one of the old school Dane players playing the Mirana for this game. And then last but not least, it is an offlane. It is Link. This is actually Link. Sushi 74, which is Link. You have probably seen him stream before. He's playing Lich. He's the offlaner. And we do have an aggressive Quattro lane. Let's see if they find some people looking for an open wounds. Tamar Wild might be the first target. No, he goes for Zik. Arrow will hit as well. This could be the first blood. In comes the kill, and it is Fish that picks it up. 1 kill on the board, and TTD back off. Nice arrow, and of course picking up that one hero that would be able to turn it around. That's why Visage is such a strong early game hero, because if there's an engagement like that, like you'll gain tons of soul assumption stacks and we'll just be able to throw it out and, you know, do tons of damage. But killing him off was the most secure way they could actually get something going. One Nightmare won't be able to stop that engagement from going. So good start for Life. And let's see how they're going to be running their lanes. Because now they know that there is going to be an aggressive tri-lane, or actually there won't. Nah, it looks like there will be still. They will run Noya still on the bottom lane. He's by himself. We've got Always Wanna Fly with Zik, and I'll try a lane with Jackal. Should be a fairly okay lane for them, I think. I mean, Noya will get experience. I think he won't really die just yet, because he'll be extra careful. It looks like we're gonna have a dual lane for now with Crit and the Naga Siren. I did say during the draft that I love the synergy that these two heroes have. One thing, of course, that Puck can still do while he is in a net is phase shift. So he can't really. The Split Earth is kind of tough to land in that case. Normally, as you just saw, it hit Tamar Wild, but Crazy or Tamar Wild has not spec'd phase shift just yet. But in theory, you should be able to dodge it, because Crit Leshrac has got such a long cast point that, you know, you just see when he goes for a stun. But if you don't have your phase shift, oh, this could actually be a kill. He does have a phase shift now and an orb to escape as well, so no kill happening there. Uses his self, still has one self left, so we'll be okay for now. As on the bottom lane, Noya can't really get any last hits, but looks to be okay on experience. I mean, they're willing to sack this Lifestealer's lane for getting more out of their mid lane and out of their top lane as well, because that's where Fish is standing. He is actually taking the farm here, with Link just denying creeps, keeping the lane pushed out towards their tower, making sure that Mag is not getting too much here. As said though, if you have got yourself a Nature's Prophet and an aggressive tri-lane, said it during the draft, it was a possibility. If They do get a go upon Noya, and Nature's Prophet will TP bottom to help out. Then there's all of a sudden 4 heroes on the bottom lane for terrible damage, and that could very quickly result into a tower kill. Especially because of there is a Luna, with of course a Lunar Blessing, extra damage for everyone. Whoa, wait a second, Puck, what you doing here, buddy? Gets himself out safe. Doing quite a bit of damage to crit here. I mean, he is up against a dual lane, like, he's not gonna get that much farm out of this one. But experience-wise, at least he's able to slow down the experience of the other two. Nature's Prophet goes down to the top lane. We saw some arrows being shot already. I saw most of them getting dodged though, but apparently he didn't dodge that one. As, wow! Kills all over the place, my bad. And that's Lifestealer going down as well. Visage with the last hit. Lifestealer in the end, getting the kill. Going back towards the middle lane where Tamar Wild is still trying to survive here. He doesn't have a bottle, he doesn't have any regen left. He has to be very careful here because one ensnare or one split earth and he is probably a goner. But 2-1 right now. On the kill score, with Life still getting ahead on that kill score, but that's of course because of that first blood helping out. So far though, I mean, last hit wise, oh wow, that's just one Riptide. One Lightning could be doing the job. Lightning has got a quite long cast point as well though. Crit can't really get that out without Tamar Wild being able to dodge it. And Tamar Wild actually got himself a bottle right now, so we'll be able to bottle crow that and we'll be able to be back on life. And he actually gets help, always on a fly, rotating middle to help out. Might be just continuing on top, by the looks of it, he is indeed doing just that. But that does mean that we now have Jackal by himself, or together with Zig. And aggressive trial are no longer as aggressive anymore, so they're just gonna be going for 2 dual lanes as well. I kinda like it, it's kinda old school, 2 dual lanes. But it can work out quite well. At least it makes sure that you should, in theory, not lose any lane. That's basically very safe for that. Maybe you won't win your lanes, even though on this mid lane you would expect people to win your lane. There goes the ensnare. There's still an orb and a phase shift though, and he jumps himself out. I mean, it's one of the opponents that, like, you can do that against every hero of TTD. But Puck is the one that will always be able to get out of it. Nature's Prophet can actually maybe TP out in time, but you're gonna assume that crit will still land the stun in time. But Puck, in theory, should never get caught out by that. In the meantime, Jackal, 22 for 5, doing really well. But the other cat lady is keeping up, the other cat lady being Mirana. And yes, we've got 2 cat ladies in the draft. I actually only realized that just now. It's kind of fun, but they are keeping up in terms of last hits. 23 for 3 on the side of Mirana. And Mirana actually got the 2 kills that Life has, so a bit of extra gold on his side. Of course, Luna does have an assist, but it's a bit different than getting that kill actually herself. So slightly ahead for Mirana. But it has to be said that Jackal needs less to be able to do more. It's just very... yeah, Mirana normally needs a little bit extra farm than a Luna does. In the meantime, Naga Siren sitting on 18 for 6. Puck still getting hold down though, he's 10-2, so has to do a Rotten getting ahead. But look at those levels. I mean, Puck even slightly ahead of the Naga Siren. So they're not able to hold him down that much, and as long as he is keeping 2 people busy, it's an okay lane for him. I mean, he's not really winning it, but it's an okay lane for him. And as soon as someone comes mid, Nature's Prophet TP's in as well, so you have got 3 people mid. And if they are able to kill off these 2, then that lane is gonna be going very much in favor of Tamar Wild. And I'm gonna expect TTD to try that when Tamar Wild is level 6. Of course, when he has his Dream Coil, he should be able to kill off both of them with help of Nature's Prophet. Maybe Nature's Prophet's ultimate as well. By that time, he might be level 6 as well, even though he's also not leveling that fast, because he's also getting hold down quite a lot here on this top lane. But the potential is pretty big on TTD. The moment that those heroes reach those levels, those critical levels, everything could be turned around. Why are we paused? Wow, people removing friends requests. Sorry, man. But we have a pause coming up from Tamar Wild, so Puck needs a pause, or at least terrible damage needs a pause. Let's just put it that way. But always want to fly. He actually rotated top. Like, one of the things that is kind of nice if you are having a dual lane scenario is that nobody really should be getting behind on levels. And that is the case. If you're an aggressive trial lane, you don't get kills. You get behind on levels. That's just how it goes. If you are a normal trial lane, you try to pull and stack in the jungle. But if you are a dual lane, you normally sit with the two of you on the lane. Therefore, getting more experience, or at least getting more experience, getting solid experience. Let's put it that way. You know, you don't really miss anything. And that's why we see the experience. I mean, always want to fly level 2. Lich level 4, however. Leshrac level 4. I mean, that's a big difference. Look at those levels. Everybody level 4 on the side of life. TTD has got a level 3 and level 2 because of that aggressive trial lane. I mean, yeah, they got a kill, but you need more than just one kill if you want to make that aggressive trial lane work for your supports. And of course for Bane and for Visage, two heroes, two supports that have a level 6 that has such a big impact. You've got yourself the familiars from the Visage. Basically that's half your hero. I mean, I already said, like, Visages are awesome in, like, early game with Soul Assumption, nuking stuff out, but that's only the case if there's actually things happening. There's nothing happening. So, we just think he needs at level 6 because getting those familiars is half of what his hero is all about, basically. Getting that control and teamfight control, if you get those familiar stuns properly done. And just control all around. Map control, even with the familiars, you can get that as well. Room control. Just control. So on the other side we've got a Bane. Bane pretty nice for setting up things for Nightmare and then everybody comes and everybody kills off his target, but only goes if there's actually stuff to kill, which at the moment is not really the case. So he needs his level 6 because he needs his Fiend's Grip, because then he can actually make things happen on his own with help from the person that is actually on the lane. So Nature's Prophet can TP in. I mean, you got to keep that in mind as well. The moment that things start happening, Nature's Prophet will be there. And he's always going to be there. But yeah, the levels on the supports make a big difference. Of course, the level 6 on the supports of life do kind of mean quite a bit as well. Especially on the Lich, especially since it's got 10 bounces. Yep, 10 bounces. If you have forgotten or if it just slipped your mind. Or if you didn't know yet. Of course, in the last patch, which was quite a while ago, I know. But it's bounces around 10 times. And that is a lot of bounces. So that level 6, pretty important for Lich. Leshrac, bit less important. Normally it's not even a spell that he picks, or his ulti is not even a spell that he picks up at level 6. In this case, Crit is going for Split Earth and Lightning Storm, so not getting anything in Edict. That means that their push is, like, they don't favor their push that much just yet. They just go for burst damage and counter push, because that's something that TTD is, like, if you look at their lineup, you see a Nature's Prophet and a Luna. Those two alone I've got quite a bit of pushing potential with the Lunar Blessing, with the Treants helping out. So Crit goes for counter pushing. Lightning is a counter pushy. Only one point is Split Earth, that's fine. Going for Lightning Storm is more important in this case. And in theory, he should never have to really aim his stun on his own because he'll have an ensnare to build up from. So the ensnare will be there and he doesn't even, like, you don't even have to have any issue hitting your stun unless the target is moving. We have got a disconnect now as well. But some communication issues on the side of TTD, and with communication issues I mean microphone issues, so it's a long pause, sorry guys. It happens sometimes, unfortunately, but hopefully this will be our only only pause in the game, and also in the best of 3, because of course it is the best of 3. Let's see, if I were to pick one of these lineups and say, like, this lineup has the best potential, I think I would pick TTD. Just with the amount of push that they have. I mean, right now I know that life is doing nice on the levels, but when the level 6 is there on the puck, Tamar Wild can really make things happen. Of course, I say that they can make things happen. One of the things that Nagaseirin is really good at is stopping things from happening because of her song. So when she reaches level 6 and TTD tries to jump in, one song is all it takes to make sure that everybody's life gets out safe. Bear in mind, Puck does have a silence, so if they're able to pick up Nagaseirin before that, that will be a tough deal to take for life. I mean, in terms of team fight, just overall, Puck brings so much to the table with Ana Dream Coil, Ana Global, or not Global, AoE Silence. And you've got your Nature's Prophet ultimate as well. You've got your Eclipse coming off from the Luna. I mean, it's no big team fight abilities like a Sand King or a Shaker or a Tidehunter or a Warlock for that matter, but it's still quite a lot. If you look at life, you've got your song, which is great. You know, you can initiate. What are you setting up for is the question. Are you just setting up to try and disengage, which is probably going to be something that we're going to see used quite often? Or are you using your song to try and initiate? And what are you setting up for? So you could be setting up for a Split Earth, perhaps. You have to time that properly though, and in theory, if there's BKBs on, everybody will be able to get his BKBs off on TTD before the sun actually hits. You can set up maybe for a Lich ultimate, but in theory, you've got yourself the Delta Split, so everybody should be getting away from that as well. So they don't have that much to set up for. Of course, one spell that we should not forget is Mirana's ulti. Moonlight Shadow. Underestimated, I feel sometimes, because actually we saw it yesterday quite a few times. We had Mirana picked up yesterday twice even. But Moonlight Shadow, and it got nerfed, buffed rather. The mana cost got nerfed. But Moonlight Shadow, very strong for initiating purposes. Of course, you can set up for a stun, you can set up for anything, for an ensnare, Split Earth, for a rage, or for a rage like attack, for a lifestealer attack, that would be. But it is definitely a strong spell to have as well. For an arrow, if you wish. But yeah, in terms of team fight, TTD should be getting the better of that one. But then again, like I said, life has got quite some possibilities to make life of TTD hard. Oh my god, that's the worst pun. I'm sorry. It happens with long pauses like this. Like seriously, how long was the pause? Can't hear him as well. Sorry for the delay. Well, we have got a delay. I think I've said everything there is to say about the game, which is normally never true, so I know that's not true. But let's just say, like, I think I said everything that I could say about the game without going into things that makes me look stupid, because I'm wrong. That's what happens with these pauses. You know what I disabled? Because normally in pauses like this I would actually like zoom into things to look at them, but I disabled zooms because I unintentionally zoom sometimes, like with this, and I should not do that. And apparently both of the games are now paused. Well, that's unfortunate. Very unfortunate, but it's okay. I'm expecting us to go very, very soon again. Look at that Mirana, by the way, because we know that she got 2 kills, but her net worth is quite higher than everybody else's. Like, okay, Luna is trying to keep up with last hits. Just unlucky that she doesn't have the kills, but it's a lot of gold difference. Life so far, their lanes are working out okay. It's not as ideal as I was hoping it would be in the mid lane at least. I mean, top lane is working great. We get Mirana with free farm. And Lich there to, of course, like I said, keep the lane towards the tower of the Radiant team. Because of his denies, of course, sacrifice. So this is working out. They're not meant to get any kills, they're just meant to give Mirana farm. Noya's lane, he was up against a trial lane. It's awesome that he got to level 4, basically. But on the other side, I was actually expecting this lane to be doing a little bit better. Not in terms of last hits, I mean last hits are doing okay. And I don't think they should be able to kill off Tamar Wild, because, I mean, it's a Puck, after all, escape artist. But I was kind of expecting him to be maybe a little bit more shut down in terms of levels. I mean, 10 last hits, fine, he can get some last hits. But in terms of levels, I thought that he would be a little bit, like, he should be a little bit less. On the side of TTD though, I mean, it's going okay. I mean, they have got an aggressive dual lane now, because of course they left Jacko alone, or at least Bane left Jacko alone. So they got 2 dual lanes and a solo lane right now. Jacko is doing fine. Tamer Wild, considering he's up against a dual lane, is doing fine. I mean, this is more than you can expect from a puck to actually get his levels, etc. Their top lane, though, pulling and stacking is the one thing that you can do, of course, to try and make sure that you get some farm and experience. But they're struggling. They're struggling for sure. And Mag can go into the jungle, and he will go into the jungle, but will not be as fast as leveling on the lane. And almost when a Fly tries to make the best of it by indeed trying to stack and pull, and like I said, just trying to get some extra experience to get himself those levels. He really needs those levels. What are they talking about? Ice cream? What? Gonna order food? Now I'm hungry. Well, it happens. Crit. I mean, he's not taking any last hits because he's not supposed to. Fair enough. But he's got sentry wards. And 400 gold. He's almost got boots. I guess that's nice for him. But he's kinda low, I guess. But for him, I hope that will come with towers. As Joe's got boots and a bottle. Pretty solid. I mean, I'm not expecting to see any major items up on anybody at 4 minutes into the game. I mean, Noya still doesn't have boots either. Has got the shield, still got some regen as well. And that's actually pretty good for him. I mean, he was up against that aggressive Trilane, as said. Still having regen will allow him to still go toe-to-toe with Jacko. And I say toe-to-toe, but I just mean... at least he won't have to run away every single time that he sees Jackal on the lane. Wonder where this visage is going, by the way. They're just trying to... Did he just pick up a rune, or is he protecting a rune? Is there an... yeah, there's an invis rune. He's protecting the rune. There will be one for Puck. We'll allow him to get some more experience because he doesn't... die from it, and he might. Nah, he's still level 4. They can't move with it. And actually, he doesn't even have a bottle. Apparently, 17 is a magic number. Okay. But yeah, invisibility rune. Puck's bottle is in the courier at the moment. It's on his way back. I wonder if they're gonna wait for it. Because I don't think they can really make a play with it just yet. But he might just want to empty his bottle, take the rune, and then pick up a full bottle again. I'm now hungry. It sucks. Maybe I should go to the snack bar after the best of 3. Nah. So, yeah, that rune will go the way of terrible, terrible damage. I mean, it will be seen though. Life will see that Invis rune is getting picked up, and there are already sentry wards up on Life, on crit. So, there could actually be something happening. Because if Puck thinks he's invisible, and Crit already places the sentry before Puck comes to the lane, I mean, to be fair, Tamer Wild, we're gonna assume that, I mean, he was at the International 3, so we're gonna assume that he saw the inventory of Crit, so that he saw the sentry, so that means that if there is a sentry missing, he'll know that he is not safe. Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be anything happening just yet. I think we're gonna have to wait for a good arrow from Fizz Invasion. Or wait for levels. Or wait for mistakes. I mean, that's always something. I mean, everybody's always like, I mean, with everybody. I mean, normally casters, especially in downtimes like these or when there's no kills happening. You often have casters theory crafting about what could be and what should be. But you have to take into account that everything is relative and everything has, so, like, no meaning whatsoever if one person is just a lot better than the other. Right? And we have got to welcome back. We've got himself back. So, assuming... Because all the theory crafting is assuming even skill. If someone makes a mistake and the other one knows what to do to, or other one knows how to spot it out and do something against it, of course we're going to have an entirely different scenario. I need to have a breakfast. What does he want to watch? Everybody in Russia has a bear? I don't get it. The bear who lives with him need to have a breakfast. Okay, so they're in like we saw an exclamation mark. We saw a ping from Visage saying like, here is an invis rune. So T-Mobile will now know, and that means that we should be ready. Please be ready to go. I'm sorry, people, that you have to listen to me. Oh, you know what? I'm more sorry to people in the VOD. I hope that someone in the VOD said, pause ends in 10 minutes. Something like that, because... I mean, this pause is lasting a long time. Sorry that you have to witness this. I'm hoping that I'm not rambling too boring. Because... Ugh. You know what I'm gonna do? The moment that the pause is on pause, I'm gonna already got to type this. Toby should be casting the other one, by the way. Yeah, he is. He is. Don't worry. I'm gonna already type. Game starts in 2 minutes. Now, that's not true. But when the pause is unpaused, I will press enter there, and then you will see that the game starts in 2 minutes, so you can get yourself some food or some drinks. So go away now with your eye on the chat, or, you know, L top with your eye on the chat. And you can pop out the chat, by the way. I normally do that. And then when you watch the chat and you see me saying game starts again in 2 minutes, then you know that you have 2 minutes to still do something. To get a drink, to go to the toilet, get some food, get yourself a burger, a cola, and a milkshake. Order me a pizza. Thank you. You should do that. That would be greatly appreciated. Actually, no pizza. I would like to have... Not pizza would be fine. Spare ribs would be better. Just a hamburger wouldn't be too bad either. Buffalo wings. So apparently we still need 3 minutes because someone has to feed his bear. We should believe Always Wanna Fly. Always Wanna Fly, by the way, has enough gold for boots! Rejoice. Can't believe I hadn't talked about that yet. Look, new topics. Let's take a look at current gold. Current gold. Well, he is the only one that has money for boots. Compared to people that already have boots. Oh, really? No. He disconnected. Link disconnected. That means... Oh god, cat, you can't do that. Ass. Sorry, my cat just jumped from one place, from a desk to my table. Apparently he made it. But... yeah, he did. Yeah, never mind that. See, that's what I do. Like, there's... How long has this pause been going on? long time. So, I'm gonna look at the chat, see if there's interesting things going on in the chat. See Russian chat, I can't translate that. I won't show my tits. I want pizza too. My favorite food. Depends on the time of day, to be fair. I guess I like a good steak. I like kangaroo steak a lot. I like spare ribs a lot as well. I like waffles. I've decided that I love waffles. Be that my favorite food? I don't know. I like burgers too. I actually had a burger in a bowl last Friday. Basically means that there's a bowl with no sandwich, but with everything that you normally would put in a burger. Was really nice. Sorry, I was lost in thought there about the burger in a bowl. I also saw Wolverine that same night. It's an okay movie. Not necessarily one that I would recommend, but if you want to watch a nice movie, it's a nice movie. Doesn't have a very surprising storyline, to be fair. You know, chat, you're not that intelligent today. Sorry for people that are intelligent, because I know that there's normally a lot of people that are saying a lot of smart stuff in my chat. Today there's not that many people that actually talk smart stuff. Raise your oranges. I don't have oranges. I do have peaches. Or maybe they're like nectarines. I think that's the same name. Nectarines. They're nice. I normally put them in a smoothie at breakfast. Smoothie with spinach. And a banana. If you put banana in a smoothie, everything in the smoothie tastes like banana. How about that? That's how I eat my vegetables. There we go! Oh my god, I'm gonna press enter right now. Boom. Invisibility rune. Now he's waiting for his bottle. As expected. Nothing is happening. We might actually... No, we don't. Never mind. Here comes the bottle. Okay, so sorry for that distraction. Sorry for me going totally off track, but I think I talked about the game long enough. And 15-minute break, there's only so much that you can talk about. So, like, there's a sentry ward already. But the Invis rune is still in the bottle of Same Wild. He's gonna use it as an escape mechanism should it be needed. But for now, he doesn't need to use it. And maybe he even gets level 6 and he'll try to use it in a different lane. Try to make a play with it. Look at Crit, by the way. He's trying to bait out phase shifts. Oh, and that one was successful. But that's the thing that he has to continue doing. There's the ensnare, the split earth. They know the phase shift was on cooldown. Now it's there again, though. The silence is there. Sentry ward goes down. One more hit needed. Will he get the kill? No, he won't be getting that kill. The bottle was there. No kill happening. And everybody, or both of these two players, very low on life. Pun intended. Oh my god, I'm sorry. That happens sometimes. But... we have got Tame Wild, of course, dodging that. Sentry ward still went down. Of course, Tower cleared that last one out as well. But Tame Wild escaping that. And that's why we see Crit just constantly trying to bait out that phase shift. Because when the phase shift is on cooldown, they know they can go. But look at the harassment. Tame Wild is already out of mana, out of life. Well, not out of mana, but out of bottle charges. And the courier is actually moving his way down, because down is where there's people too. We actually have a TP incoming, and that is Jackal with the last hit on Noya, who wasn't able to get into trees fast enough. Mag helping out, of course, getting that assist there. He's building still towards the Hand of Midas, so he's still going to be getting that extra golden experience at some point to you know, catch up, because he's not really getting that much right now. In the meantime, What can always want to fly do against this lane? Nothing really, so we're just seeing him trying to soak up some experience while Fist Invasion is just getting as much farm as he can. And doing a good job at it as well. Double damage room picked up for Tamar Wild. And he has boots as well, so he's going to be a little bit extra safe. Again, on top of that, Mag is there and actually gives him a salve so he doesn't have to use his double damage room just yet. And this could be trouble because Tamar Wild is now level 6. I said, like, when levels happen, it could be starting to get dangerous for life. There comes a Dream Curl. Can they get something going? Yes, they can. That's one kill already. Tamar Wild looking for another one. He will try to go for Joe. Still has a double damage room. Soul Sam should actually clear us out an illusion. In comes Noya. That last hit didn't get the kill. And Tamar Wild face shifts out. In comes We Just Zig. It is both of the heroes of terrible damage that end up dropping. Both Noya and Joe getting one kill each. Slight overextension from TTD. And very good movement from Noya. Making sure he was there in time. Making sure he still gets the puck. Who had his orb, of course, on cooldown from using it earlier to be aggressive. Nicely done. Of course, Leshrac still goes down. That was a solo kill for Puck. Gets himself some extra gold with that. But he still dies for it, and that's not really ideal. So his first Dream Coil, I thought it was going to make a big difference, but in the end, he ends up dying with it as well. And that means that the lane is still, I would say, in favor of Life. Life, who is rotating. They see Nature's Prophet in the jungle, but he has got his own ward as well. Mag is safe so far. Unless he's not able to run away from this. And Crit can't really catch up with him in the meantime. We have Always Wanna Fly trying to TP out. And they know they can't interrupt him. The arrow was off cooldown, but the travel distance, the range that it would take to actually get to Always Wanna Fly wouldn't be in time. Nice TP out from Always Wanna Fly. In the meantime, Tamar Wild gets herself another rune. Actually, no. It is Open Wounds. It is Tamar Wild that did not get the rune, and he's in a lot of trouble. He does have a face shift, but I don't think he can do anything with it. There we go. Leshrac with the kill. Takes the rune from Tamar Wild and takes the kill as well. And this could be trouble for TTD because this is the point where I was expecting them to be able to come back and to be able to, you know, capitalize. I know that word. Capitalize on their levels. But so far, not really making it happen. They do take a tower though. Bottom lane, Mag with the gold, so an extra step closer towards his Hand of Midas. In the meantime, Always Wanna Fly, so run away, takes a brain sap from Fist Invasion. And uses a salve as well. Just standing here to try and defend. In the meantime, mid lane is where the action is happening. Dreamcoil already there, but in comes the song. Joe allowing himself to TP out, allowing his team to get away as well. Jackal's TP in. Not in time. Tower ends up going down. Both towers destroyed. All three towers destroyed, I should say. Because also, of course, the top lane tower got destroyed by Fist Invasion. And they will go for an arrow. They will go for Always Wanna Fly. And they will get the kill. Killing spree for Fist Invasion. And that is Life able to get the control. I mean, of course, the bottom lane is sacked. We knew that part. Ooh. Are they going to be able to find Jackal? They're going to box him in. We also have Crit coming in here. Link leading the way. Still got a slow. Still also got his ultimate up to just slow him extra if need be. But in comes more. In comes We Just Zig. In comes Tamar Wild. Fish Invasion will be the first one to go down. There he goes. It is Tamar Wild that picks him up. They want to go for more. Is there a Dream Call? No. Cooldown still. Mag TP's in. Goes for his Proud. In comes the kill on Crit. That's gonna be Jackal with a kill. TP out still on Link. But they still got 2 kills out of that rotation. Something that they desperately needed. Making sure that they are not one to be pushed around. In the meantime, they are giving some extra freedom to Noya. I mean, yeah, they shut him down early in the game, but right now he is having an okay time. He might not be farming on the lane, but he is at least farming. And that's something that you couldn't have said to him or of him in the start of the game. But he's getting something now. He's got face boots. He's got 23 last hits. I mean, if you look at the net worth, it's still not really something to write home about, but he will get there at some point. Blind arrow. Always Wanna Fly. Oh my god. Are they gonna go in on that one? That is a long duration arrow. They won't go in it though. We just dig around there. It's too scary. They didn't know who else was there. There's a lot of people missing from the map. And as said as well, Nature's Prophet could be there. So then you would have a 3 versus 2 scenario. Smoke up in the meantime for Live. Crit and Joe looking for a pick off. They are standing on top of a sentry ward. Of course, you just have to have the luck that someone was watching there. And they go for We Just Zig. In comes the ult from Lich. That's already one down. And the ult bounces around through creeps. And the arrow will miss. They get 1 kill. It's nice to kill off a Visage, but he's already level 6. You use 4 heroes for that and a smoke. Might not be really worth your time, but they do force some other people top too, because Tema Wild actually rotated top on his puck. Which is quite nice to achieve. In the top 4 of life though, they are the ones that are ahead in gold. And we see that back in the gold graph as well, quite heavily actually. Of course, I mean, this is the pause. Yeah, it goes on, the graph goes on during the pause, and as Leshrac dies there in the mid lane and snare. No, the haste rune still picked up by Tema Wild, nice dodge. Actually, is he gonna go in? Does not have a Dream Coil though, won't be able to go in. But yeah, 2k in favor of life. Of course they have a tower advantage, 1 tower in their favor. Experience graph fairly even, there's only 1 kill difference at the moment though. And the Hand of Midas ready on Mag. This will make sure that the experience will actually go a little bit in favor of TTD at some point, because he just gets more experience this way than life is getting. Especially since life is still not really farming on that bottom lane. They're still farming in the jungle, or at least Noya is still farming in the jungle. I mean, Tema Wild will still be wanting to have a Blink Dagger at some point. Might be keeping on his aggression purely for that reason. You can either farm for your Blink Dagger, farm creeps, or farm heroes. Of course, farming heroes is nicer, and that's something that we know TTD favors. Just getting kills, getting those ganks going. With Mag TPing in, Visage helping out, and just trying to make things happen that way. Question is, who are they gonna gank? I mean, Mirana's by herself on the top lane. Also has a Hand of Midas, by the way, and that means that the Hand of Midas on Mag, experience-wise, gets a bit, you know, gets evened out. So, but this is not really a ganking target, because 1 leap, Moonlight Shadow, she's out. You have to have some sentries or dust with you to be able to counter that, and by the time that you actually catch her again, there might be TPs into tier 1 towers, and that will mean that she is already gone. And there's a leap, the Dream Coil is still there, she should still be able to get away though. Haste Rune on Tema Wild might be able to make this happen. Tower helping out, nope, not enough. Puck with the kill. Haste Rune is the one thing that you need to chase down a Mirana. In the meantime, on the bottom lane, tower being aggressed upon. Looks like TTD wants to make something happen here as well. In comes a losing beam. Noya though, he walks forward first, looking for a target, turns back around, but it's too late. Gets Fiend's Grip. In comes the Eclipse. Noya already picked off. TP in from Tema Wild, looking for more, but his Dream Coil on cooldown. Can't really hope to achieve anything with the last 3 heroes here of life, but they get the most important one. One of the more important ones, which is of course a life stealer. Shutting Noya down even further is always a good thing to have happen. In the meantime, Hessa Joe, he picked himself up drums, so that means early engagements. Means early engagement fighting, early pushing as well. And is showing that as well. In the meantime, Link almost got his mechanism ready, and that will allow life to continue with those 4-man, 5-man pushes as well. Which allows them to stay longer at the same place. And he's about 300 gold, and then he has that complete. In the meantime, we have got Mirana, after her Hand of Midas, building towards a Yasha by the looks of it. I like that. I mean, it's a normal thing for Mirana to do, to pick up a Yasha first. It still makes her a bit into a glass cannon, though. That's the one thing that you have to be worried about. And in this lineup, Tema Wild is actually very good against certain glass cannons, because he can just jump in. Normally, like, if you're a glass cannon, you sit back and you hit stuff. That's your thing. But if there's a puck, he can just jump himself in, and all of a sudden you're not sitting back anymore. No, you're in the middle of the action. Mirana can leap herself out, but she can't do that if Puck is there and silences her like he did earlier on the top lane. In the meantime, Zig picked himself up a Medallion of Courage. That means that Roshan is now vulnerable for TTD. They could actually take him down. They've got the power for that. They also, of course, got Mag, who can create Treants to tank up the Roshan. And Jackal and Zig for now still defending their towers. I mean, yeah, they could take down Roshan, but they have to be wary about where all the lanes are. And what are they gonna give up? Oh, Fist Invasion, looking for an arrow here. Maybe up on say, well, in comes the silence. He's actually able to kill off Noya, just like that. In comes Fish Invasion, knowing that there's things on cooldown. Will there be an arrow is the question. There's still a phase shift. Arrow misses. Tema Wild gets himself off. Moonlight Shadow. They really want to take down Tema Wild, but he's got an orb. He should be fine. Phase shift is there. They're chasing him down, but it's not going to be amounting to anything. Fizz Invasion won't be getting his revenge. and they'll just have to let him go. And that will be the one thing that they needed to get the Roshan going, because the bottom lane is pushed out, middle lane is pushed out, 2 heroes are dead on the side of life, with Naga Siren getting picked off as well in that middle lane, picked off by the Bane, and that was actually another Fiend script used. But that's Roshan. Jackal with the Aegis, TTD, looking good. Putting that gold graph back towards the 0 line. We've got the experience graph though going in their favor, because the last couple of kills all went in their favor, and especially that solo kill that Puck just was able to get. I mean, Tema Wild has had a pretty tough mid lane. Or, and I say pretty tough, he didn't really lose the mid lane, but I mean, you were there, you saw it. Was up against the dual lane, but he's doing really well right now. He's got his Blink Dagger 17 minutes. It's not really like amazing fast Blink Dagger, but it's decent. It's pretty decent. And they're gonna look to push more. I mean, they have some momentum here. They've got the Aegis. They've got almost a BKB ready up on Jackal. They've got the pushing power of Mag, who almost has got his Shadow Blade ready, and they're just ready for it. They know that right now they're a little bit stronger than life, and they're actually gonna go for this as well. Dream Coil up on 2 and 2. Woo! Will only die 1. Link still alive for now. Has to back himself off though. Still has his ulti. Probably wants to throw it out if his team still wants to fight. But has to Joe Rotten using his song. In comes an orb. Still picks up that ledge. Tema Wild. Did he just give his life for that? Noya with the open wounds. In comes the ensnare as well. There is still a phase shift, but they get him a forehand. Noya with the last hit. That's not worth giving your life away for. But at the same time, they do take down the tower. With Bane taking the last hit for that bit of extra gold towards the support. But that's quite nice to have. They also got the Aegis down, by the way. Jackal did die in that fight, did lose the Aegis, but nonetheless they lost Tema Wild. In the end, I mean, it wasn't needed. Would have been better if they didn't, but hey, kill's a kill. And Snare, Shadow Blade's not just there, but the Central Ward is still down, and just in case. Clear but clearing the trees, that's a kill. Nicely done. The Shrek with the last hit. Also got himself levels in Edict. He just got 2 levels off of that, or 1.5. He was close to level 7 when he started killing that off. But Nature's Prophet is level 11. He was level 6 when he started killing that. That's a big kill in terms of experience. And the Shrek now is level 4 Edict. That means that the pushing power on him is pretty decent. As soon as they start pushing towers, those towers will fall real fast if there's no defense coming out from TTD. And with defense, I kind of mean fortification, because it's the only thing that you can do against Crit's Edict right now. That's the only thing that he does have though. I mean, he's got those levels, he's got wards as well, has mana boost, but that's it. He's got no stats items, at least none for to survive. So he is pretty squishy, and he has to be really careful with for that puck, as we saw earlier already. Oh, tactical pause. Now that orb will probably get dodged, especially now that people saw it. They should be seeing it. It is nighttime, however. Is there any vision? I don't think actually there is. Let's take a look. This is the vision of the Radiant. Yeah, they see it. They see Tema Wild as well. So that's gonna be undodged. A dodged orb. But yeah, there's a pause. Who knew? Nah, this is a very smart pause. Small pause. No 20-minute pause again. Please. In comes the orb. Like, everybody moves away. No surprise there. Puck doesn't jump in. Would be too obvious. And looks like the tower is just gonna get sacked by TTD. Another orb comes in. Tema Wild still not jumping in. Always wanna fly. Has got his Fiend script ready. There are 3 here. We just did coming in as well. In comes one Riptide trying to help out. Lightning already cleaning out the creeps. Nice familiar disable. Getting a double stun there, but no one goes in on it. Nature's Prophet pushing on the top lane. Here comes Tema Wild. Silences 4 people. Gets himself out again. Soul Assumption. Hits up on Hester Joe. Takes a lot of damage from that one. In comes a slow on a Fiend's Grip. Noya locked in position. Can they stop him? Yes, they can. Tower will still go down. Nice! Lich Ultimate bounces around. That's gonna be 2 dead on the side of TTD. But that is also the only 2, because they get 3 kills in total on the side of life, and they might get a 4th because this lifestealer is definitely not safe. 4 dead, with the only one that's surviving is Link, who was able to TP himself home to safety. Brilliant Lich ulti, but in comes Jackal with an Eclipse, and there's just everybody melting down. BKB also turned on. I mean, that was the first showing of the BKB, yeah. So they get the tower, they get 2 kills, get a nice Lich ulti. Nice ancient stack, by the way. But in the end, it is TTD that can call themselves the victors there. Especially since they also took down a tier 1 tower top. Still 1 tower ahead for life, but they are losing ground in terms of being able to actually fight. They're trying to gain momentum from getting those towers, getting that extra gold up, but TTD is doing a good job at keeping it even, and the split push that TTD at some point can do with the Nature's Prophet, it's not going to get countered enough by Hesse Joe. I mean, he's not doing bad, but he's also not really the most amazing last hit. I mean, he has got 82 last hits right now. Considering he was on a dual lane mid, he should have had more. Should have had more. Tema Wild, what are you doing? He has a gem. Looks for a target. Finds himself 4. Did they see them? Yes, they do. And snares, you're dead. They have their own gem. And they now have a second as well. Link had a gem. And now also Leshrek has one. Awesome. Tema Wild, overextension at its finest. And it was only just a newly purchased gem, by the way. I mean, the gem is now on cooldown for a while. As you see, it was only bought like 40 seconds ago. It's a fairly normal thing to buy a gem at 20 minutes in to get your control, depending on how well... Wow, that's an arrow. That's a kill. How well you think you're doing in the game. Oh, that familiar lives. And, well, Life taking the gem instantly from TTD. Meaning that Moonlight Shadow is going to be extra aggressive. And look at that pushing power! They know that the puck is dead. The puck is the one to make the plays. They get a Rax, perhaps, out of this one. This melee Rex, there's no fortification anymore. They can just barrel it through. They're taking hold of this game. And that is 22 minutes in. In comes Tema Wild with the Dream Coil up on 2 Soul Samson, already up on Nagasai. And he has a song though. Might be wanting to use it. Doesn't use it just yet. BKB already used by Jackal. Everybody of Life getting himself out. An infested Lifestealer will get himself home with the TP of Naga Siren, or with the... Not the TP, but just the... Oh, in the end, TP of Naga Siren. But that's a pretty nice fight for Life. I mean, yeah, nobody died, I get that. But they get the Rex, they get a BKB charge out of Jackal, they got a Dream Coil out of Tema Wild, and they just... I mean, they just took a Rex for free. For free! I was not expecting that if you saw the team fight on the bottom lane just a moment ago, but the pushing power of Life is quite heavy at the moment, with an Edict helping out Naga Siren Illusions, and at some point, well, I say at some point, with Manta style illusions from Arana helping out as well, it is quite a lot of pushing power. But this game, I mean, it's far from over. Because as you can see, the fights in general are actually, like, the killing potential is in favor of TTD. You go for a big team fight. But the control seems to be in favor of Life. And that's quite interesting. Of course, brings it back to what Loda said at TA3. You don't have to get the kills. You don't have to get the farm. All that matters is one fight. You only need one fight to take the throne. And it looks like Life is taking that theory to heart, because they don't really care that much about kills. They're behind in kills, but they might be able to get the throne still with one of the fights. If they just pick up a couple again and make sure that TTD just doesn't have any power to fight back, they might be able to get that. In the meantime, Roshan is going to be up again in 3 minutes. They also have a tower taken down by Mag. I mean, he's split pushing. He's got himself an Orchid. He's got his Shadow Blade. And he is doing very nicely on the net worth. We see him even in the top 3. Together with Jackal on his team, who does not have a Hand of Midas, by the way, so he is ahead of everybody, and he doesn't have a Hand of Midas. This basically means, I mean, he's just doing really well. He's been in 10 out of the 16 kills, and he hasn't died yet a single time. Also has his meta style ready. And Aluna is one of those heroes also that at some point in this game, if he reaches high ground, he's gonna hit one tower and hit the whole base with it. And also one of those heroes that if you have a fight, if you win one fight, you're gonna take so much building damage, do so much building damage, so much structural advantage, if you want to say it that way, that it's quite scary also for Life. And a lot will depend on this Roshan. Will they give it to Jackal again? Will TTD actually get it again, as we have Mag? He has to be careful though, he has to know that there's 2 gems up on his opponent team. Luckily for him, there's none on Hesse Joe. But there is one on the Leshrek, or actually there was one on the Leshrek. They put it in the base. Yes, they did. It's in the courier. Oh, looking for an ensnare. Finds it. And that's gonna be Luna turning on her BKB, tries to TP herself out, should be able to do just that, but that's another BKB charge used. That's a victory for live kill or not, that's what you want. You get yourself 7 seconds now for the BKB, and with that BKB on cooldown, maybe Roshan is gonna be going the way of life. Actually no, the BKB will be on cooldown again by the time that Roshan spawns, but we see life. They look now for a pickoff because they know that if they get a pickoff right now, they'll be having a safe Roshan kill. And that's what you want. That is what you want. It's not what TTD wants. I mean, they know that in a big 5-on-5 team fight, they should, in theory, be getting out ahead. If there's no song, mind you. So they might just want to start hitting up on Roche and see if Life does something against it. There is a ward right there from Life. So they'll know if something is going on. No counter ward. There is a counter ward here, but it doesn't reach that one. Look. Sad, but true. In comes Illusions from Naga Siren, realizing they have to keep tabs on this Roche. We already have Noya sitting around. Noya has got himself an armlet. He's also got a Hyperstone. Gonna assume that he's gonna go for an Assault Cuirass, knowing that Maran is the one to do the most solid damage. Well, it's the one to build for damage items, I should say. Life should have just built for tankiness, sustainability. Sustainable damage, if you will. Jump in silence, only up on Hester Joe though. In comes the open wounds that we just dig. First target, Legitimate bouncing around as well. BKB turned on by Jackal, already Eclipse as well. It is Naga Siren that drops. Mag with a double kill, Feast Grip up on Noya, and that is a team wipe, and all they got was a Visage. Brilliant fight from TTD. The engagement from Tamar Wild seeming a little bit flaky, but because of that, Life was overconfident that they could take it. And then in comes Jackal with his BKB. And just starts hitting things, and the blades fly around, and everybody dies. Mirana leaping herself into the tree, but the tower's still finding her. And Mag will see what he can do against a tier 3 tower while his team takes down the Roshan. Of course, Jackal's still very low on life, and even lower now that Roshan decided to try to pick a fight with him, but he lives, and that's all that matters. And Life can't do anything but just defend their base and know that they won't be able to fight for another 6 minutes unless they know that TTD makes a mistake. Of course, they still got a Rex advantage in the mid lane, but I mean, that's no guarantee for anything at the moment. And Jackal will have himself a butterfly soon, and with that, forcing Mirana to have an MKB, and that's far from the case yet. Fish Invasion hasn't started his next item just yet. Will be forced to go for an MKB. Question is, will he see it in time before he decides? I'm assuming he does. But we'll still take some time. He still needs 3k gold before he has it. That's a lot of gold to farm up. Lucky for him, he's got 6 minutes to do so. Also lucky for Link, there was still another gem. Of course, they gave the gem back again. With that fight, we have Puck with the gem in his inventory. A gem that he actually bought himself. Well, it's the one that he bought. At the start of the game. Well, 20 minutes into the game, I should say. Some wards being countered because of that gem. Tamar Wild building towards the side of Vice, almost has that complete. Just needs about 400, 500 gold. And we're gonna assume that he has that when the next fight happens, because next fight, TTD, the question is, how much do they really want to try and team fight? Well, of course they want to try and pick off people. They know that their opponents are outnumbered, which is gonna be the case if they find a way to go up on Jackal here. Or up on We Just Dig. Since word already dropped. Jackal, gonna try it. Who's their initiator though? How are they gonna initiate on that? They don't really have any kind of initiator apart from the song. And you wanna have that song to try and sing and defend your team. Talking about defending, Mirana forced back. Force back to base. Mag with the split pushing powers. Mag who's got 4,400 gold. He's rich. Not rich anymore. He's got a side device. So that's going to be 2 side devices up very soon. As we're going to assume that Tame Wild will have his soon as well. Whoa, wait a second. Mag might be in a little bit of trouble. Mechanism will keep Link up. In comes a song. No TP out for Mag. To try and use it to take him down. In comes a Hex. In comes an arrow too though. And that's Mag dead. Hex or not. It's not going to save you from 4 heroes of your opponent team. Yeah, that's right. There were 4. And just want to point out again, I mean, I said it when he was involved in 10 kills. Jekyll now has been involved in 15 kills. Still hasn't died yet. Ever in this game. Which is quite impressive, to be fair. I mean, this is not a game where, like, we saw quite a few games yesterday. Quite a few of those also were fairly passive compared to this one. And to then not have died yet is an impressive ordeal. That was the last outer tower, by the way, on the set of TTD. And they just give it up. Still one outer tower standing on the side of life, which is actually a really good one as well, because it is the one where they have the Rex. So that means if TTD wants to make that lane even, they first have to take down a tier 2. And it fights a bit tougher inside into the bigger creeps. The mega melee creeps. MMC. Okay, it's awkward. Yeah. So we almost have a BKB upon Bane, so he'll be able to cast that song uninterrupted. Fiend script. Will be good for him. In the meantime, on the top lane, might have some action. Jackal, he is actually gonna go down for the first time this game! No, never mind, he has an Aegis. That one arrow. And one last hit from Marana doing the job. In comes the Hex with the Haitian from Tame Wild. Lifestealer will die. Marana gets herself out. An Aegis for a Lifestealer. Not a favorable trade for life. Unless Noya would have had buyback, which he doesn't. Because he tries to go for his Assault Cuirass. Just needs the recipe for it. Butterfly now also ready. Up on the Luna. While Marana still sitting on 2,500 gold. Picked herself up a BKB. Which is nice, but still no MKB. Luna. She was already tough to kill beforehand. She's gonna be even tougher now. Because getting to hit her is actually quite an achievement at the moment. And let's see how fast he can take down this tower. There is a fortification just used. Maticel illusion from Marana already burned away. In comes a blink silence. Just allowing people to continue to push down this tower. Slowly but steadily. They're not forcing out a fight. They just want to take down towers. BKB activated by Jackal as he backs off. They don't take the tower, but they do take quite a bit. Next time they try something like this, they'll get the tower for sure. Mag already back to pushing on the bottom lane. 2,100 gold in his inventory. One thing that we have to watch out for, by the way, is the scoreboard that I just put on. It is buyback status. Because these things matter. Because we're getting later on into this game. And whichever base they're fighting at, if you don't have buyback at that point, wait a second, Mag, oh, he's able to TP out, no detection up on Noy. If you don't have buyback at that point, your base is gonna be gone, because whoever wins that fight, the pushing power of the opponent team, both of the teams have got so much that it's just one fight, unless you have buybacks.
Invisibility.
Oh, almost wanna fly. Think you're dead, guy. Puts himself in a nightmare, buying himself some time. Maybe for Tame Wild to come in. He's thinking about it, but he didn't end up doing it. Always wanna fly, just dies. And they know that they don't have to fight up against an Aegis. They know they don't have to fight up against a Fiend script. And that's all good. And that might actually give them some momentum, but they back off. The mid lane is already taken, so they need to go top or bottom, and they know that their top lane is getting pushed in, and Mag, with this split pushing, with a tower that's already so low, is very dangerous to be leaving alone, so they need to TP back. Maybe they're even wanting to wait until the Roshan is back up again, which is kind of sad, because then that would mean that we won't have a fight for another 4 minutes. 3 minutes. Sorry, I exaggerated. $3,400 gold up on Mirana. Let's see where she's going next. Still hope for an MKB. Need to do something against that butterfly. 2,200 gold up on Luna herself. Take a look at the levels for a second, because it's quite the difference. Of course, one thing that we saw already at the start of the game, when we saw that the supports of TTD weren't really getting that much. It's still the case. But it does mean that the other three are getting all the more. So the levels are way more evenly spread on life between level 11 and level 18. But it is very top heavy for TTD. Level 21 on 2 with a level 19 on a 3rd. All 3 cores higher than all cores, like everybody of life. And we'd see that back in the experience graph as well. Almost 20k experience difference. And that's a lot. I mean, gold graph, also in favor of TTD, no surprise there. They're getting ahead slowly but steadily. Especially Nature's Prophet and Jackal's Luna. But it's up to life to just hold on, win that one fight that they need, and then take down enemy's base.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It still could go either way. It's so frustrating, because normally around this time I would already know, like, okay, this team is going to be getting ahead, blah blah. But, I mean, it could still go either way. Initiation is key. It all comes down to captaining. I'm looking at the puck because he is going to be the one to make the initiations possible for TTD. And buy time for Jackal to just stand there and hit things. Things, I mean enemies. Noya with his assault grass will be allowing his team to stand there a little bit longer while taking hits from Jackal. Of course, bouncing blades hurt like hell, but that extra armor will definitely help. And talking about extra armor, being prepared for a fight if you're a Lich is half the battle for him right now. Keeping that armor up on most targets. And it seems so like a puny thing, but it's so important. Extra 7 armor, extra 9 armor with the next level. It's important. It's really important. Especially if you're up against such physical damage dealers like Jackal on his Luna. Like the Nature's Prophet as well. Should not underestimate him. This Nature's Prophet, by the way, is filthy rich. Again, 5.1k gold in his inventory. Sorry, 5.4k gold in his inventory. That's how fast that goes. Roshan, back up. TTD, they're going for it. Life as well, though, with an infested Nikes in the Mirana. Let's see how far they can get. Timo Wild already used his orb. They know that they're coming. We're waiting for life to go. Will they actually go is the question. And if so, who are they gonna go for? They see Jackal. In comes an arrow. Dodged. Looking for an ensnare, perhaps. There goes the ensnare. They find Timo Wild. They kill off Timo Wild. Looking for who is gonna fly. They will be able to pick him up as well. That is gonna be an initiation that life really needed, and they get it as well. Gem drops. BKB turned on by Mirana. Could be picking up the gem if she wants to. Jackal. Better not try that. So now Link has got 2 gems. Buyback from the puck. In the meantime, Mag doing Maggie things. Pushing down a tier 3 top. Hester Joe won't be able to do anything. He's actually completely out of mana. So this is still no Roshan for life. They still have to give it up. Looks like Jackal might be able to get it before anything else. Noya's still here though. He's forced back. In comes Invasion. Jackal. He is not gonna be distracted. Takes the Roshan, takes the Aegis. The cheese could be picked up still by Noya if he wants to. In comes the Eclipse as well. Lich already down. Lich ultimate itself still bouncing around. Is able to help out. It is gonna be the Visage that dies, but look at the death count on life. Mirana, Lifestealer, still getting picked off together with the Lich. And that is gonna mean trouble. Gems on the floor all around. Lich lost both of them. At least Lifestealer managed to pick up the cheese before he died. They weren't able to burn the Aegis up on Jackal, even though they were pretty close.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Tier 2 tower. I said earlier, if you win one fight up against any, like either of the teams, the pushing power of both teams is quite insane. And if you're TTD, you even have pushing on both sides. Nice split earth coming off from Crit. Yes, be careful though, because look at the damage. Jackal, his Aegis will get burned, but he does make sure that Leshrac goes down with him. Fiend's Grip up on Esther Joe. In comes Mag with the Mata style even right now. Tama Wild still in some trouble. Gets himself away. Lightning gets dodged by the phase shift. It will be Naga Siren that drops. Mag runs himself away. Godlike Jackal though already gets a double. Is still alive, still on full health. And goes for the next target. Another death on the board. And now Noya, the only one left alive, is still has the cheese. Can turn it on, can eat it. Ate it. Looking for Tama Wild. But he can't find him. He can't get him. Jackal gets an arrow in the face. And that is a kill. That is a godlike streak ended. And the towers are still standing. The racks are still standing. Tama Wild face shift there again. Hex up on Noya. Noya might still die. Gets hexed up. Gets killed off. There still goes Tama Wild. Fish invasion gets it done. Looking for Mag. Mag doesn't have a Shadow Blade, but is able to run. And Fish goes back. In the meantime, the creeps did the job on the top lane racks. Both of the racks picked up there. Jackal back in this as well. The first time that he died was just now, but he bought back, bought boots of travel, got himself back into the tier 3 tower, and is able to pick that up as well. There we go. His Manta Style Illusions making it happen, and TTD getting ahead again of this massive fight, which took a very long time, by the way. They lost Jackal for the first time this game. It's his 42-minute game, and this is the first time that Jackal died. But he only was dead for a little while. Came back and made it worth it for him and his team. Look at that gold graph plummet. 15k gold, and I'm expecting it to fall even more. Experience graph, same story, but already past the 20k in favor of TTD. We have the levels. Reaching level 25, so that experience graph, it's not saying that much anymore. In comes the Eclipse. I want to take down Acid Joe. He still has a song. Doesn't want to use it right now, though. Or does he? Yes, he does. Knows that he has both with it. In comes his team. His team will take care of Ouija Zik, and he wants to go for an ensnare upon Jackal. Jackal does have a BKB, though. He Manta Styles out of the ensnare and just tries to run himself away. There goes the BKB. The Fusel Blade already on cooldown, and Jackal should be able to get away. Of course, Ouija Zik still died. No surprise for that one, but Jackal will not die. But it is still not over yet. Life is full of life. They've got 5 heroes alive. That cannot be said for TTD because they only got, well, 4 now because the buyback from Ouija Zik comes in. Let's take a look at the buyback status. Nobody can buy back anymore on the side of TTD. Of course, melee Rex in the mid lane was already dead. They just take the ranged Rex as well. In comes a Dream Coil up on 4 and snare dodged by Tama Wild. Jackal does not have an Eclipse. Does not have a BKB. 15 seconds though, and then he has it. Life says, screw the other lanes, just go for the tier 4s. They get one of them. In comes Tama Wild again though with a 4-man silence. Doesn't have a Dream Coil this game. Nice forced, or Fiend's Grip. Noya will infest himself, and Crit will stay alive. Soul Assumption almost kills off Crit, and here comes another song. And that will allow Life to get himself away. The familiar stuns won't be there to try and stop any TPs from happening.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Still looking for a Nightmare, but always want to fly. Can't find it anymore. The fight is still on. Nobody dead on the side of Life. TTD, Nature's Prophet almost back again. And 1 tier 4 already dead on the side of TTD. Anything can still happen. This is a very even game. The gold graph goes back a little bit. Of course, it's all still in favor of TTD, but we see that Life still can do this. They still have it in them. If they will have it in them for long is a question, because TTD is making its way over towards the mid lane again, and they already took down the tier 3 there, so taking down Rax with the Luna there is going to be very fast, very easy. However, there is a fortification, and if TTD is going to stare themselves blind on those Rax, that could be meaning the death of them, because that might be giving Life the opening that they want to take down everybody of TTD. There is a song again up again as well for Hassid Joe to counter-initiate anything that might happen on the side of TTD. And they don't even want to try. They're just gonna back off. Wait for another Roshan. Surprise. 5 minutes though until the next Roshan is up. In the meantime, all they can do is wait and farm. And not get picked off, because that's gonna be something. You need to not get picked off. If you get picked off at this point, you're basically throwing it for your team. Mag. Talking about pickoffs. Desolator and MKB up on Fish. As said, he needed that. He needed the MKB to deal with Luna. Luna, though, I mean, not the butterfly, not just the butterfly is the thing that keeps her up. Satanic. And we'll have a buyback again shortly as well. Of course, that's going to be something that the teams will be fighting for as well. Wait a second, Mag in a lot of trouble. Open wounds. Tries to mantis tell himself out of that one. Still has a hex to use if he wants to. But he won't be needing that. He'll be staying alive. And the chase, you can't afford to chase very long right now. Because you have to be aware that your opponent team can be there at any moment to try and take you down. Or maybe try to trade racks with you. Could even be that. Bottom lane is where Visage is trying to push the lane out. And with, of course, this, they will be able to force life back. They should be able to force life back, let's put it that way. Mag already TPing bottom as well, looking to take down the tier 3. Jackal with a double damage rune. Oh, this will go very fast. Where are the TPs? Do they really want to try and base race this? I don't think they should. Fortification on one team. TTD still has a fortification as well. Use it. And they go for the tier 4s. TTD. They don't waste any time. Go for the tier 4s. Blades are bouncing around. No TPs. This is game. TTD. Terrible, terrible damage. Does enough damage to take down a throne. Get themselves a victory. A bit of a mistake for the decisions of life. Oh my god, big life decisions here. Sorry, there's just so many puns to make and they're all so bad. But, you know, this is a best of 3. This was only game 1. Very even game, very active game. We're gonna see another way. Okay, I know that the 20-minute pause wasn't very active. Hopefully that's not gonna happen for the next game. So we are gonna have a next game. Game number 2 for EIZO Cup semi-finals. Terrible, terrible damage, formerly known as EIZO Cup. Taking on life. The Danes will be coming up next with their second game. Stick around for more Dota 2 action.